What is up, everybody? Erin and I were hanging out on the morning of her birthday. It was a Friday. We were drinking some coffee, chatting about what we wanted to do. There's a number of places we had wanted to see and check out in the Canton area, so we decided we would feed all our cats their lunches and then drive down to Canton. Erin came up with a loop that would take us out to Lewisville, Ohio. And yes, in Ohio, it's pronounced Lewisville, not Louisville, like down south. It's actually named after someone whose last name was Lewis, but they still spell it like Louisville, Kentucky, because there was already a different town with that name. It's interesting, this guy's name was Lewisville, so Lewisville is, I don't know. Thought that was kind of interesting on the Wikipedia page. Anyways, leaving Canton was kind of interesting. We took this new bike lane they've put in, but it's a one-way road and the cars are coming at you. It's a little discombobulating. I've done this somewhere. I think it was on the North Coast Inland Trail. There was a part of it where it had a section like this, and it's just kind of strange, but it's better than nothing, and they do have the double yellow line. It just gets a little weird when you want to make that left-hand turn or just to pay attention to the cars that might be coming through intersections that wouldn't necessarily be looking for you going in the other direction. I'm sure over time cars will be used to that being a bike lane, but I feel like it's something you always still have to be cautious about. Our first stop, though, on the way out of Canton was Walkie Talkie Coffee. This is just a really, really cool building and a really great coffee shop. We had just eaten breakfast and stuff, so we didn't have any snacks this time. We've been here once before, and their snacks were really good. They're bakery items. We just got some small macchiatos or something like that. Anyways, it was a good stop. Really cool artwork on the walls and everything like that. The barista on this day also was super friendly, and his bike was in there, and we were chatting to him about that. It was pretty nice that there were even more bike lanes on the way out of town. As you could tell, the way we're heading is a little bit of a more busy section. So always great when you got those bike lanes to travel through. On all my bike rides this weekend, I had my Canon R8 over my shoulder, and I had an adapter to put one of my vintage Minolta lenses on it. I was using my 50mm f1.7. I have some of the photos I took from this ride at the end of this video, and some other videos I made this weekend. I'll show some more photos. I just love the look of this. It's probably a late 60s Minolta lens. It's actually broken, and it's stuck at f1.7. But that's where it looks the coolest anyways. The reason I bring that up, though, is because Canton has some really interesting architecture, some really cool buildings, some abandoned buildings, definitely a Rust Belt city with some post-industrial buildings you'll see as we come past on our way back. Looks like an abandoned steel mill would be my guess. But yeah, I wouldn't mind coming down to Canton doing some walk-around photo shoots like I used to do. I used to work down here almost, I think, once a week for Main Street Modern, really cool mid-century vintage item dealer. What a good description. Anyway, point being, not that Erin would mind if I wanted to stop at any point and take some photos, and we do that sometimes. But usually on my bike rides, I only take photos at the destinations unless there's something I just really can't pass up. So I like to be more solo when I am doing photo type shoots at just our photo walks. I just like to be completely in that mentality, and it's a little different than when I'm riding my bike with friends or my girlfriend on her birthday. So as I was reading about Lewisville, it's actually a suburb of Canton, which makes sense when you look at it on the map. But we have ridden there before, but we were coming from a completely different direction, so it was really different to come through Canton and realize how close they actually are, because when you come the way we had come from the north, it just felt like Lewisville sits out there in the middle of nowhere. We get a little bit of that vibe we decided to take this cut. There was a park here. There weren't any no bike signs, and you could tell this is kind of like double track, and it's a little gravelly, so it wasn't like a single track hiking trail that we were poaching. So we felt all right about making this little cut through. And also where we're making this cut through, it was the busiest road on the route. So it was nice to be able to, that's this road here, to be able to avoid a little more of that. So this here is getting into the outskirts of Lewisville, which is a small town. I think it's only a small city, only 9,000, 10,000, I believe the Wikipedia page said the population was. And the reason we came here the last time is the same reason we were coming here this time, which was to head to Unhitched Brewing. Our buddy Micah, who's on a lot of my rides, he does a lot of my design work. You always see me and Erin wearing his clothing. She's wearing an Akron Coffee Roasters shirt that he designed as well. Does all of Unhitched's beer can and their design work too. So another reason that we're pretty into him. As you can see, we had a beautiful day. It's been one of those years where it feels like a flip switched and it just became fall. The weather has been much cooler, much less humid. The nights have been really chilly, actually, down into the 50s and stuff like that. And it's actually been really dry because I was saying this summer, you were either wet from humidity and sweat or it was pouring rain. So now it's actually been really pleasant. This is downtown. The other thing is we had never really been through the downtown area because Unhitched sits right at the edge of downtown of these historic buildings, and we've come in from the other side. We've driven here once, and then the one time we rode in. So I never even had checked out the city. And some of these buildings I was reading about go pretty far back, and there's a couple businesses. There's one bar that's been in operation since 1872. We actually rode by and peeked our heads in on the way out of town. Unhitched has amazing food, and they're well known for it. Their beer is awesome as well. But we just split a smaller plate. It was actually pierogies. It was like a Reuben pierogi thing that was great because we knew we wanted to eat again when we got back to Canton. So we just went with a lighter thing while we were here. This building on the end here is the bar I was mentioning. We had looped around. I had stopped to take a couple photos downtown, peeked our heads in, and then we were heading back out. We decided to head out in a completely different direction. Well, by decided, Erin had made a route that was a loop, so we'd be going back on new roads. You get those different miles and. So as you could see, as I was mentioning earlier, coming back this way makes Lewisville feel like it sits way more out in the country than when you're heading directly through the neighborhoods in Canton where they connect. When we started getting back into Canton, it was a way I've never headed into the city. And if you're familiar with Youngstown at all or the Mahoning Valley, it felt very, very much like that. You know, these big industrial spaces, but then these little pockets of neighborhoods where people were still living. And it's weird because you could tell there must have been more around there at some point, but now some of the people are gone, some of the houses are gone. So it's this weird mix of like I don't know how else you would describe it. It's like industrial country, you know, as the land is being kind of taken back just by nature in certain areas, but some of the neighborhoods still exist. Most of the buildings are gone, but some of the big ones are there. I don't know. It's kind of something you really only get in the Rust Belt, I feel, but it's just kind of unique and very different, but a lot like Youngstown or the Mahoning Valley area in my mind. We actually ran out of time to check out one of the places we wanted to on this trip, so I think we're definitely going to be coming back. There's a few places in Canton besides that I've wanted to go back to, a restaurant that I really like down there. We finished our ride at the Wood Shop, which is Delhi, Ohio during the day, but switches to Mike Pizza in the evening, if I understand that correctly. And then in the back is the Wood Shop, which is Unhitched Canton location. This pizza was absolutely incredible. And again, I already said that Unhitched beer is great. So another nice day out, 20-some miles. Thanks as always for watching. I really appreciate it. Give this video a like, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.